This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets. Oil prices steadied near two-month highs on Thursday, with Brent crude trading near $85 a barrel, buoyed by expectations that a strong economic recovery will boost demand, but rising U.S. inventories and high inflation capped gains. Brent crude futures gained 15 cents, or 0.2%, to $84.82 a barrel, by 10:24 GMT. U.S. West Texas Intermediate (WTI) crude CLC1 futures were up 3 cents to $82.67 a barrel.
2 months after U.S. President Joe Biden announced an unprecedented effort among major oil-consuming economies to work together to bring down rising fuel prices, prices are again approaching multi-year highs. And Biden has few options to stop the rally. Global benchmark Brent crude passed $84 a barrel on Wednesday, and leading analysts are forecasting that oil could pass $100 a barrel in the first quarter. Biden spearheaded a coordinated release of oil from strategic reserves with Japan, India, South Korea, Britain and China in November that helped quell prices, even though, in the end, China did not take part.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Shares of U.S. energy companies are soaring in the early days of 2022, driven by a shift to so-called value stocks and assets that stand to benefit from the steepest inflation in nearly 4 decades. The energy sector is up over 14% this year, against a 0.8% drop for the overall S&P 500. Energy also posted the biggest gains of any S&P 500 sector last year, rising nearly 48%. Several factors are behind the sector's performance. Brent crude has surged about 23% since early December and is near its highest level since late 2018. Rising energy prices have been a key factor over the past year in pushing up overall inflation. Consumer prices last month had their largest annual gain since June 1982.
Indonesia allowed 37 vessels loaded with coal to depart on Thursday in the strongest sign yet that the world's biggest thermal coal exporter is relaxing its ban on shipments. A senior cabinet minister said in a statement the ban implemented on January 1 had been eased for miners that have met a requirement to sell a portion of their output for local power generation, after the state utility procured enough coal to ensure 15 days of operation. I request that this is supervised closely so this also becomes a moment for us to improve domestic governance, Coordinating Minister of Maritime and Investment Affairs Luhut Panjaitan said in the statement on Thursday.
Next, we have the top news in metal.
Copper prices fell back on Thursday but remained near 3-month highs after rising sharply the previous day on a weakening dollar and concerns of a supply shortage. Benchmark copper on the London Metal Exchange (LME) was down 1% at $9,967 a tonne at 11:48 GMT after rising 3.5% in the previous session. Used in power and construction, copper rose 25% in 2021 and 26% in 2020. Many analysts expect the transition from fossil fuels to electrification to boost demand.
Saudi Arabia is planning to auction up to 3 mining licenses in 2022, including Negwi mines where zinc and copper deposits are estimated at around 26 million tons, the kingdom's mining minister said on Wednesday. The licenses will be awarded under a new mining law that came into effect in January 2021 and which aims to accelerate foreign investment in the sector as part of efforts to diversify the economy away from hydrocarbons. Negwi will be first, Bandar Al Khoraif, Saudi Arabia's mining and industry minister said, adding that the bidding process would start by the end of this quarter, or beginning of the second quarter. We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector. China said it would raise domestic soybean output sharply in the next 4 years, in a drive to boost self-sufficiency in supply of the oilseed, according to an official document released on Thursday. The country has set a goal to produce about 23 million tons of soybeans by end of 2025, up 40% from current output levels of 16.4 million tons, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs said, releasing its 14th five-year plan on crop farming. Expansion of soybean and oilseeds production in 2022 was urged during a top central leadership policy meeting in late December.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.